Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. Terrence is out this week, which is fine because we have almost nothing to talk about because there is almost nothing happening in the world of movie and TV. However, we're professionals, goddamn professionals. And so we have one topic outside of things we're going to talk about and checked out, and then trailers. And it's going to be a spirited debate, I guess. We'll see. All right, so checked out this week. My wife and I started watching Hacks on Max. Have you seen the show?
My wife has seen every episode. She loves it. I have not.
You know what? She's right. It's really good. It's really, really good. I actually think you would like the show a lot.
I mean, Gene Smart has won a couple of Emmys for that show.
Gene Smart is hilarious. Okay, like legitimately fucking hilarious. So the whole idea is Gene Smart plays this sort of kind of washed up, like Joan Rivers type character, right? She's a stand-up comedian, and she's been around since forever, and really a pioneer in comedy for women. And she has like a show in Vegas that she does like, probably 6 nights a week, 5 nights a week, something like that. And she's old, right? So the jokes are not landing with younger audiences. She has her audience, but obviously that's dwindling over time, right? But she's an icon. And so her boss is like, look, we're going to move you off of like Saturday and Sundays, which are like the big days, or Friday and Saturday or something like that, and reduce your time because like you're not really hitting, right? We're going to put on like the Blue Man Group or some other fucking new age bullshit. And she gets really pissed off about it. At the same time, this 25-year-old writer in Hollywood is like, she recently got fired, and they both have like really sort of sarcastic personalities. They're very similar in a lot of ways, right? And so her agent, who is also Deborah Vance's agent, played by Gene Smart, is like, look, why don't you go out? Like he tells Gene Smart, he's like, hey, how about we hire a writer and like help you like, fashion some new jokes and stuff like that, right? Get your edge back. And she's like, no, fuck that. I don't need a writer. I've never needed a writer. Fuck off. And so he sends this writer out under false pretenses. He's like, oh, okay. And he sends this young girl. He's like, oh yeah, she wants to hire you because she heard you're really great, and sends her to Vegas to do the writing. Well, they butt heads, obviously, right? Because she doesn't want a writer. She thought she was hired to be a writer, right? And so they butt heads at first, but they both tell each other off because Gene Smart's not used to being told off, right? Like she's super rich, super famous, and everybody kind of kisses her ass. And here's this young girl that's like, bitch, fuck you, right? Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, fuck off. And because of that, Gene Smart's like, all right, a little bit of respect. Like I respect you pushing back, right? So she does, in fact, hire her. And it's just this back and forth between the two of them. And Gene Smart is brutal, man. She is like not necessarily mean that you don't like her. Like you like her, but she's a dick, right? And the young woman played by Hannah Enbinder is also kind of a dick, right? And so like she's a lesbian. Hannah Enbinder is a lesbian. Her name is Ava. She's a lesbian just out of a relationship. So like she's got like this new world look at how things are for women and everything else. And here you've got Gene Smart's character, like this very old school thing. And they kind of trade back and forth. But they eventually kind of find a symbiosis. And it's really, really good. Like it works incredibly well. I think you would really like it. What's the name from Always Sunny is on there? Caitlin Oslin, who is Dee from Always Sunny. She's on there. She plays Gene Smart's daughter, and she's a fucking loser.
Okay.
Spoiled brat. But it's really, really good. Like it's got heart because Gene Smart's character, as rich as she is and as like tough as she is, like she does a lot of good things for a lot of people, right? Like she's got this assistant who is like this super smart, like on top of everything, gay black dude. And you don't know quite what his story is, right? Like, why has he been working for her? because he's so on top of everything. Like, this guy could probably made it in Hollywood on his own, right? Like, but for some reason he's super loyal to her, and like his story is slowly revealed, and like all the characters have this lining in them that is like they're good people or complex characters, but it's all under the guise of like the most sarcastic, dickish, hilarious shit you've ever seen. Like, it's very good. Like, I think this is in its 4th season, I believe. Yeah, it's 4th season. I see why. Like, we watched it and like we immediately got into it, and then my wife watched like 4 episodes after I went to bed. She was like, you cannot let me sit up and watch the show after you go to sleep. I was like, okay. And then the next night, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. She's like, I'm gonna watch 1 episode. I was like, you've learned no lessons. Like, it's been literally 24 hours. But no, it's good. I joke with my wife that I was like, are you gonna go watch a little grandma show? But I'm like, do you want to? She was like, do you want to watch Hacks tonight after the show? I was like, yeah, I would like to do that. But it's good. It's good. It's real easy because each episode's like 30 minutes. Super easy to watch. Like, you throw this on while you're working or something like that. But it's very good. I highly recommend it. Do we want to talk a little bit about The Last of Us before we get into Andor?
I didn't watch the last episode. I told you, I got what I wanted. Oh. So that show is. Look, man, that
can't be the series finale. That's fucked up.
I mean, look, it's I'm kind of hitting the same place that I hit when the game came out, right? When the second game came out, we were in the pandemic. It was in the Trump administration. To be perfectly honest, I didn't want to play this game, which, is a good game, but like slightly overrated, right? Like, I need everybody to keep it in their pants. And it's a game about a pandemic and humanity like turning against each other and forming little factions, and the shit is just repeating. Right? Yeah, man, and it's just repeating. And I'm in my 1, 2, 3, I'm taking care of me phase, right? Like, I don't need that's something we tell our youngest son because he's having behavioral issues. But look, I'm in my 1, 2, 3, I'm taking care of me phase. Okay, I don't need to be like.
This is by the way, solid potential choice for the episode title.
I don't need to revisit this very, very harsh world, right? Like, because the world is already harsh, man. And I need escapism. Mm-hmm. I need stuff that I need shit that's literally about fighting fascism.
I was gonna say, because you're teeing this up the way you're saying this, I'm like, you're being a bit hypocritical as the next thing we're gonna talk about. But
that leads me to hope. That's the thing. The Last of Us world is so bleak.
It's hopeless.
And so hopeless. And that's one of the reasons why I really don't care for Joel as a character, especially in the game. In the show, yeah, he's a much better, well-written character. In the game, the little bit of hope, as tragic as it would be, the little bit of hope, he just took that completely off the table, right? There's no guarantee that them operating on Ellie, they would have found a cure or whatever, right? But there was some hope. And this one person decides, nah, fuck that.
Fuck the world.
Right, fuck the world for this kid who's not even my blood, who's just like nah, man.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I get that sentiment, but like, I don't know.
I'll get back to it eventually, maybe.
You know what's sustaining me, because, and look, if you've played through both games and you're like, this does not happen or this does happen, that's fine. I don't really care, like, because I don't want to know. I just want to see if Ellie kills Abby. I want to see that. Like, that's all I want to see, because the way in which, spoiler alert for the second fucking episode, holy shit, Abby kills Joel, right? Like, this is all well known at this point if you're listening to the show. And that happened in the game. the way in which this is the one actually a criticism because I hadn't seen that episode when we recorded last week. The way in which Joel saves Abby, saves her life and everything, which was really fucking great and like ironic and duh, it was like excellent writing. And I feel like maybe you go, maybe I shouldn't murder the guy. The guy seems actually maybe changed, but whatever. But the way in which they had her personality flip on a dime, I did not like. I didn't like that. Like he saves her, and they get to the cabin where her friends are. The one girl's got like potentially frostbite. It's like this all chaotic shit, and then she just she gets warmed up, and then immediately she's like, "Hey Joel, it's time to die." I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Like there was no sense of like humanity in that moment of like, here's what you did. Like, yes, you saved me. Like, even if it ultimately ended the same way, like there was no slide into that shit, right? You know what I mean? It was just like a hard pivot of like, whew, glad we made it. Man, I was freezing. I'm gonna murder you now. And you're like, okay.
So
like, it was just a weird flip. I don't know if the game is like that. I have no idea.
So the game is the scene in the game is a little more visceral, and context matters a bit more. In the show, you know why Ellie is mad at Joel from the beginning. It's literally the first scene of the first episode of the second season, right? In the game, you don't. So it's incredibly disorienting, right? Like you're seeing this from Ellie's perspective, right? That you are brought in here.
Oh, so you wait. You have no idea that he killed Abby's father.
Right. Not at the beginning. Not when it happens, right?
Interesting.
And in the game, the perspective flips and you control Abby. So you get the story.
To kill Joel?
No. You get Abby's backstory as to why she is doing why she hates Joel, right? But when this is happening like within the first hour of the game. So you're just starting this game.
Yeah.
Joel's on the box. You feel, oh, okay, well, it's Ellie and Joel. We're back at it, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden, like the main character dies, and you don't know what's going on. So I've seen people who have played the game to completion and watched the show comment that they feel that from a drama perspective, the way it's told in the game makes a little more sense, or it's more impactful just because of how disorienting it is. Whereas you kind of know why Ellie is the way she is. Also in the game,
You mean why Abby is the way she is?
Yeah, Abby. Yeah, why Abby is the way she is. And in the game, there's a reason why Abby looks the way she looks, right? And I know you're not
supposed
access
to really unlimited protein, right? That was
yeah, but she has taken it upon herself within that 5 years to become a living weapon because she's full of vengeance and just wants to like kill Joel, right? So, look, I get it. I'll probably go back to it eventually, but I'm in no rush. And,
I mean, look, I understand the sentiment that it's like it's too close to what's going on outside. I get that. It makes total sense.
Yeah, like that's why I didn't watch that show Adolescent.
I have zero interest in it.
Yeah,
and not
man,
that I didn't hear it was very good. Zero interest.
It was very good, man. I was very good. And I was like, oh, hey, because I'm telling my wife, she's like, hey, you want to watch this show I heard so much about? And then we looked at the trailer and we were like, no, no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, a radicalized young boy? Nope.
I don't need a story about a kid killing a classmate, yo. Not when one's got behavior issues and the oldest one doesn't look his young age, right? And loves wearing hoodies and just wears them with the hood up all the time, and it just nah. I can't. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking care of me.
Right. No. Silly statement. But no, I totally understand that. And for that same reason, let's move into what the next topic is, right? Which is
Fighting fascism.
watching a show fighting fascism. And actually, what we'll do is we're going to have an extensive conversation about Andor season 2 so far. Look, man, I saw somebody, like, they posted an image from Andor season 1, right? And it was, the image is like the young guy talking to Andor, and he's like, something to the effect of, like, the Empire hides behind, many atrocities, because, it's easy to criticize them for one, but it's harder to criticize them for like 47 atrocities, right? And it's like, yeah, that's kind of how fascism works. And they're like, oh, the show is so good, and really talking about fascism. And I was just like, I'm so glad people are enjoying the show for the reasons that you should be. But Star Wars has always been about fighting fascism, guys. It's just that you think Darth Vader looks fucking dope, and he does. He's the super Nazi with a redemption arc. Okay, that's that whole character. So yeah, back in it to Andor season 2. So far so good. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I thoroughly enjoyed the first episode. Starting off, I was like, all right, we're gonna steal a TIE fighter, and then I don't know how to drive it. I just thought that was just hilarious. But the special effects I thought were really, really good. It looked very good. But this show is fucking back at it, man. I can't believe we have prestige television that is a Star Wars show. It's fucking amazing to me.
Yeah, this is it, man. This is kind of what Star Wars is for everybody, right? It is, and it's very nice to kind of get a little more adult oriented Star Wars content, because it's ripe for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think some of the issues with Star Wars, you're right, Star Wars has always been about like Senate hearings and stuff like that, because like that's a part of politics, right? And it's always been about politics.
It's got war in the title, guys.
Right. But it's, God bless George Lucas, man, but like he's not the best when it comes to writing certain things. And then you have to like write these concepts for a mass audience, and it can be very, very tricky, right?
Yeah.
And and boring, right? Like, if having trade negotiations and literal Senate hearings in the in some of these movies, like, you're gonna lose people's attention.
Yeah.
But this show does it, man. This show does it. This show has a character. We're witnessing this. So Andor is a prequel to a prequel, right? It's the prequel to Rogue One, which is the prequel to episode 4, right? And it's all about Cassian Andor becoming, like, going from, my name Bennett and I ain't in it, right? I'm just looking out for me, to being somebody to being completely radicalized.
Yeah, a revolution.
Right, and becoming a revolutionary. And it's just it's done so well. Like, when this first started, I was the first season, when it started, I was like, when it was announced, I was like, I don't know if I need all this, but no, man, it's super interesting. It's super interesting, and it gets back to
we need
it. Especially now.
We need it. We absolutely do.
Right. Like, we gotta have these people with the Rebel Alliance and Punisher and Blue Lives Matter stickers on their RAV4s or whatever. Like, they need to know what Star Wars is actually about.
That's weird, right? Like a Punisher.
I've seen it.
Rebel Alliance. Like,
I've seen it.
Is it just that you're just in the pop culture? You don't get any of the references? God damn it.
And it's what we need, man. Like, this show has a guy going from like a nobody to a revolutionary. Not even just a nobody who doesn't want anything to do with anything, right? He's just living his life, and he becomes a revolutionary. It also has
almost like we saw that in the original Star Wars trilogy. Hello. Nothing in Star Wars is new under the sun, guys. Like, it's just not.
Right.
Like, they're analogs for other characters. Like, that's it.
And as we will discuss, nothing in Star Wars is subtle. They have a character here who is essentially Bruce Wayne from the Batman Beyond timeline, right? Whose motto is literally at the ends justify the means, right?
One of the greatest speeches in Star Wars history, by far.
Yo, Luthen Rail is such an interesting character because you just don't see that character in anything. Like, he is literally gray. Like, there's no shade. There's no like, oh well, that's what I think I like about this show, right? Like, God bless those movies. There are clear cut heels and faces, right? Good guys and bad guys. Everybody's a gray guy in this, right?
Oh,
everybody is a twin.
none of the heroes are like fresh and clean. Like, none of them,
right?
They all do dirty shit to win. They absolutely do.
And that's what grown up espionage and war is, right? Like, we all want to tell stories about like Captain America, but like, no, that's not Captain America is not the ideal. Like, the Thunderbolts are. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's just more realistic. Like, it is.
And slightly more interesting in my opinion. But I'm an old man, so my son don't like this. He likes watching fucking young Jedi and laser swords, and that's perfectly fine.
I mean, like, one of the things that I think is really, really quite profound about this is it does lay groundwork for something that I think Star Wars, hopefully, like, the executives behind Star Wars will figure out and learn. Like, I'm hoping Dave Filoni is kind of in Kathleen Kennedy, however long she's around. Do both, right? Or all three, right? Your fucking Jedi kids shit.
Do everything.
What's the kid show? Skeleton Crew. Like, give me that. Give me the 80s style animatronic stuff for kids. It's awesome. I love it. Please, by all means, do that. Bring in new kids into this universe. I think it's great, right? And even the young Jedi stuff, like, that's awesome. The cartoons. Do that. Then give me the fucking Ahsoka Mandalorian wing, right? Which is just the general audience shit that, like, is from 10 all the way up, right? You can just enjoy 8 to 80. Right. Like, you can just enjoy it. It feels like, quote unquote, Star Wars, and it's perfect, right? Oh, it's got plenty of action. It's got a little bit of interesting story, but it's mostly just the action, and that's fun. And it's telling a general story, good guys versus bad guys. Zero issues with that. No notes. But I also want this. And
yeah, man.
Everybody, the problem is, in a lot of the sort of Star Wars fandom, is they want all or one or the other. Fuck the kids. I just want the fucking Mandalorian style shit. Or fuck that. I want all the hyper serious Andor shit. But if Star Wars is for everybody, you can balance this, man. You can balance it. Like, I'm not saying that the Andor type of shit has got to be all the mainstream movies. I wouldn't even be mad if those were just TV shows. It's fine because they're super complex. So let it burn over 8 episodes. That's fine by me. But I want this too. I can't wait to watch Mandalorian and Grogu. I can't wait. I saw that leaked fucking trailers. They're blowing up ATA walkers and shit. I can't fucking wait. It looks awesome. But also, this is what needs to be there too. And that balance is key to keeping this universe, like, with just this fresh flow of fans of all. As you age up in and out of groups, there's still Star Wars for you. You become 45, 50 years old, and you're like, I want something serious. You turn on Andor, like, oh, we can still have laser swords and laser guns, but also talk about, like, these deep-seated issues that have been permeating this entire universe since 77. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's great. It's great.
You even got your, so you got your Luthen Rail character who is like, by any means necessary, the ends justify the means. Oh, you helped me? Good. Now I got to kill you because you're a loose end, right? Like, That's the type of dude that this guy is, right? And he's working with Mon Mothma, who is taking an entirely different, but an entirely different approach, but still just as valued, right? Like she is a senator, but she's secretly funding
Right.
the rebellion. You know what I mean?
And
And
he's
and the
playing against other people who know and some people who don't
right,
know and all that other shit.
right.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and this is where the political game, like the proper political game comes in, which is super fascinating
Yeah, it's
on
not
like
boring at all.
when we focus a bit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's like the like House of Cards esque, right? In
Mm.
terms of like,
Yeah.
here are these people that we think highly of, but they play just as dirty as like the people who kind of get in the mud. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
They're just as responsible.
And it goes to show you that like starting rebellions, and yeah, we were talking with some of our friends in Signal, and they're like, well, when is somebody going to do something about our current situation, right? And that's asking a lot of people, right?
Oh yeah.
And this show is illustrating how it's not just like a group of people are just going to be like, yeah, okay, let's just start this. It's very difficult because people have different ways of trying to do things. People have different skill sets, and some people are just there's a group of gorillas in this
Not the one we'll be talking about later.
not the one we'll be talking about later, but insurgents or whatever, right? Whatever the term is, in these first two episodes. And it made me think of like Black Lives Matter. And just hold on before people get
How
pissed, right?
dare you?
How dare you, right? But Black Lives Matter kind of spun off into like little fiefdoms, and people decided, oh, okay, well, we want to be a part of it, so now we're a chapter and we're going to do this. And that's kind of what these groups, they're not like official, but they don't get along, right? Because they're not focused, right? Everybody wants to protest, but nobody knows how to organize it. Everybody wants to do something, but they don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these like little guerrilla insurgents represent. And they are millennial coded, right? They all appear under 30, and I think it's a commentary about, like you said to us, what did you say earlier? You said it perfectly. Hold on, let me find it. And because
sounds like something I would do.
They well, that's what I get for complimenting you.
Yeah, I know. Saying infighting inside of a rebellion does nothing to benefit the cause, but wastes energy and people. Yeah, like that's what they represent.
Represent.
Just the infighting inside, right? They all want the same thing, but they can't get past their own bullshit and their own personal desires in order to focus. But that happens in every rebellion, especially with young people. It does.
Right.
It does. And the show basically shows how they end up like hurting each other. And then while they're doing all of that, they lose track of the thing that this prized possession, which was holding Andor captive. Like, you're losing shit because you're infighting. Like, get over yourselves. And actually, you end up getting some of your guys killed over it.
Right. That's the lesson. That's
right, like that
message.
Right. Like, that episode isn't a waste. That episode makes a lot of sense, because that is like, if you cannot focus the rebellion, it does not work. But everybody has got to like stop caring about, like, in any sort of, like, if you look historically at any sort of major rebellion, any major political rebellion, one of the things that has to happen is not necessarily, you don't need a single leader. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, because like they can kill a leader and then like that does damage. But a lot of times a single leader or a small group of leaders they're less about a person, and this is the thing I think is missed in when people talk about, like rebellions, like politically in the U.S., for instance, right now. They're too focused on the person. The person is only representing of an idea. Like I forget what movie or some reference it is you can kill a man, but you cannot kill an idea, right? That actually may have been from the first season of Andor, if I'm not mistaken. But the idea is, like for instance, Martin Luther King or Malcolm X were people and they were killed, but they became so grand they became ideas. So even when you killed MLK, even when you killed Malcolm X, they became ideas. So they live on through what they did. And the problem is in rebellions, people are so focused on the person. And it's easy to tear that person down, like the infighting and shit, because they go, well, that person's not perfect, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I get all that. What is the idea that they represent? And if you can focus on what the idea is, then you coalesce under that, and then you move forward.
But the problem is, right, the other end of that double-edged sword is that you do need someone to lead. Because we as people, we want to be like, we need followers, right? That's why like
that gives me a thought on something. Go ahead. I'll mention it.
But you see what I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah.
I understand the idea, right? And the idea has to transcend the person,
right.
But you need the person. It's like a chicken or the egg, right? Like, and somebody has to step up and say, hey, we're going to do this, right? And either no one wants to do it, or, people want to do it, and because their egos are so big, right? Like, every president who's ever been elected has a massive ego. I don't care what party you're in. 100%. You have to have a massive ego.
I can lead the world. What kind of fucking thought process was that? I like Barack Obama, but nigga, relax. Like, that's an insane thing to believe.
Right. So yeah, like, it's a weird chicken and the egg thing, and that's what happens with these insurgents, right? Like, they get caught up in who should lead. They get caught up in well, this person didn't do this, which is a way to kind of address purity, in my eyes, right? Because we have this person has to be perfect, right? Like, that's our problem, right? Their problem is they are evil assholes, and they like being led, right? But they have a warped vision of where things need to be. It's so,
and their idea of perfect does not purport with reality, right? They want a perfect leader, but a perfect leader is always moving and shifting because that person is already there, and so perfection morphs into whatever that person is at the moment, which is bizarre, right? But you made a point, right? Of, it is really, I've never thought about this until you just said it. This idea that we're seeing, like, we don't have a leader, right? And so you need like one leader or a small group of them to be like, all right, let's fucking focus, guys, and then move forward. This is what we're gonna do. I wonder if that's part of the reason that on the other side, there is such a push for everyone for the alpha thing. Everyone is it. You're an alpha. You got to be an alpha. If you seed the idea that you are always a leader and everyone is potentially to be these alphas, right? Everybody is Sigma, alpha, you're top dog. If everyone on your side believes that they're top dog, you can't have teamwork. Because that means that means they're all chiefs, no Indians. No offense, right?
When everyone's super, no one is.
Exactly, right? I like the way I said it. Seems ruder.
I'm trying to save you, bro.
There's 9 of them. They don't watch the show. No, that's fine. No, but in all seriousness, but that's what it is, right? Like, at least that's what it feels like to me. Is if nobody is willing to follow behind, you can't fight back. You're all separate. Well, I'm an alpha. Me too. I'm also an alpha. I'm an alpha. You want to work together? Fucking I ain't coming behind you. I'm an alpha. You get behind me. Well, I'm an alpha. I'm not going to get behind you. That's the idea. So they see that into their own fucking team to keep all of them broken apart. Right. And weirdly, while they're all being alphas, they're betas to one of them.
To one guy. Right.
To one guy. Which is fucking weird to me. That's what's so weird. But in their lives, they feel like they're all the alphas. And everyone is a fucking alpha. I'm an alpha defending my family. I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha. But you guys are the betas. Like, you're the cucks.
Right. All these free thinkers are thinking the exact same thing.
Exactly the same. Super weird. It's like you're all wearing the same uniform and just marching right in a line, all with your little stormtrooper costumes on. So, right. Yeah, I mean, Andor is great television, not just because of Star Wars, but because it's got something to say, and it's complex, and it's interesting, and it's teaching people to understand the fight that they're in. And I said that during season 1 a number of times, and I will keep saying it through this one. This is the best thing Star Wars has done, in my opinion. And I'm not talking about, like, if you're like, well, I really like the laser sword fights in this movie, and blah, blah, blah. I get all that. I love all that shit too. But when it comes to writing, when it comes to telling the ultimate story, which is Star Wars, which is fighting fascism, that's what the fundamental story is of Star Wars. Right. Whether you get it or not, whether Ewok Village is your favorite part or not, that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, by the way, they you know the Ewoks are the Viet Cong, right? Like, are people aware of that? Like, right. Yeah. Like Lucas literally said that. That's who they were. Just saying. So who do you think the Empire is? Doesn't take a lot to fucking line that shit up, guys.
Are we? And look, man, look, it is about all that, but the thing that I respect most about this show is that it's not mealy-mouthed about it. Right?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You know, if you're gonna do stuff like this, like, stand in your conviction, man. And I understand, you know, you got to make this hard to make money and all that stuff, but
yeah, no doubt.
You know, I'm not trying to shit on anything specific, but I have some things in my head that I'm just like, yo, take a stand, some sort of stand, right? And this show is just like, yeah, no, this is the show. Fuck fascism. Yeah. Also like this show because and I really enjoy the way that they are rolling out this season, because last season did the same thing, not the rollout, but last season had like 3 or 4 little arcs that lead seamlessly into the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And that's what this season is doing, but they're releasing those episodes 3 at a time, little 3-episode arcs every week. So you can watch the whole little mini arc in one sitting, or you could spread it out. You know, I think this is a really, really interesting way to roll out a show instead of just week to week. It's the perfect balance between here binge it all and here wait 1 episode per week.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, they just dropped the next 3 episodes, so it's out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, man, I think it's excellent. I'm all in. I like that. Again, I love the sort of Ahsoka side of the universe right now. That's a lot of fun. Like, hell yeah, give me my lightsabers and all that other shit. Fuck you.
I love most of Star Wars. I'm reading Star Wars books, for crying out loud. That's how much I enjoy this stuff. So yeah.
So, and I love this. So it's really fun. I mean, I don't know if fun is the right word, but it's great, right? Like I'm not necessarily like, yee, it's a new episode. It's more like, yes, like it's very serious. Because I'm old now, right? I'm 45 years old. I like serious television, dude. Like, I can't just watch a bunch of fucking bullshit all the time. Like, all right, I fucking got it. Give me some depth. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go back on my word here, and I feel I cannot stress this enough. I feel disgusting saying the following statement. I really do. I really do. I think I'm going to check out Lazarus on Max. Apparently, it's in the Cowboy Bebop universe. It's done by the same guy.
Is it in the same universe, or is it just done by the same guy?
No, he says, I was reading an article. He says that he likes to think of all of his stuff is all in the same universe. And it takes place, I think, 50 or something like that, 50 years before I think Cowboy Bebop does, or after. Do you know the premise of this?
I heard it's a good show. I do not know the premise of it. I'm kind of. Is it all out? I was trying to wait for it all.
I think that it is. Again, I've not watched it, but I like the premise a lot. So, the premise is that a guy, like a scientist. Let me see if it says the year. Yeah, 2052. Like the scientist invents this drug, and it like cures whatever, like everything, and people take it. And then like a number of years later, he comes out, he goes, all right, guys, like, so I actually laced the drug, and in like a month, anyone who's taking this drug is going to die. Unless you find me. Fuck off. I'm out of here. Like, and so it basically, like, an emergency task force is assembled in order to find this guy, right? So that he doesn't like purge massive populations of the earth. Like, the characters seem very similar to Cowboy Bebop, which I was like, watching the trailer, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what kind of Cowboy Bebop ripoff is this? And then I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's the same dude. Like, I got it. Like, even the cover looks like a Cowboy Bebop cover, right? But yeah, he says that he likes to think of it. It's all in the same universe. So, but people seem to like it. So I'm gonna check out Lazarus again. I feel disgusting saying that. I do. Like, as you all know, I do not support the anime as a storytelling medium. Do not. But yeah, no, it looks good. So I'm gonna check it out. Look, I watched that Terminator thing, so you know, I'm a huge hypocrite. I'm okay with that.
You know, that's just you know, you got to get you in through, you know, stuff that they know you like. That's all.
Yeah, I already watched Cowboy Bebop. This is a logical progression. That's totally fine. Right? Yeah, I will only watch things that are connected to things I've already seen. You want to check out this new anime? Absolutely not. A new concept. Fuck off. I'm not watching that. I don't trust it. You watched a movie that some are saying is not great, but you loved it. You gave it you were telling me 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so I said I wasn't going to watch it. And speaking of going back on your word, but my son said he wanted to watch it. So I watched a Minecraft movie. And
you like this more than Sinners, right? That was your thought?
No, this movie's awful, man. This movie is awful. Like, this movie is not for me. But I let me tell you about my experience in the theater. So when I go to the movies now, it's usually during the day. I'll take a day off of work and I'll go to the first showing, right? Because I'm that kind of old person, right? God. And there's usually like one or two people in there in the theater that I go to, which is located in a mall, right? And I have a good time. They redid it. It used to be an arc light. They redid it. It's really nice, right? So I couldn't do that with this. So I go at 2:00 on a Saturday to see a Minecraft movie with my 6-year-old.
Nah.
And the movie's been out for a few weeks. I'm like, all right, you know, it can't possibly be that many people here. Yo, it was like 50 people in there, yo.
Really?
Yes. It was like 50 people in there, and they were all old enough to be there by themselves, right? But young enough to like really get on my nerves, right? Like they're like tweeners, right? Like they're anywhere from 10 to 12 year olds by themselves, right? Because it's in a mall.
Nah, I don't
right?
I don't walk down. Nah, like, I'll not be seen here. This is ridiculous.
And it was, you know, thankfully, like, not a lot of kids were talking and well, more on that later. But man, I got to tell you, yo, they were into this. And
really?
I mean, yo, this was, I see it. I see why this movie made all the money. Because they are into it. And you could tell really well. This is a movie that they have seen multiple times and like they were into it.
Like, okay, in an ironic way or like legitimately into this?
No, they were into it. Like there was no irony whatsoever. They
Do you
were
know how do you know how much
pumped for
money
this
this
movie.
made worldwide?
This movie probably it hasn't hit $1 billion yet. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yo, it's made $816 million already. That's
Okay,
unbelievable. Wow.
like it was a massive hit, man, and with these kids, and the movie stars Jack Black as a character named Steve, who is the movie stars Jack Black playing Jack Black,
Okay.
and Jack Black is doing Jack Black things, right? Like
As you
especially like now, not like Shallow Hal Jack Black, but like
Oh,
Jack Black.
that's the golden age of Jack Black, in my opinion.
Right. Jack Black now is just like, I'm not even going to shave my beard. I'm not going to trim it. I'm not going to get a haircut. No, this is what you get, right?
No, he and
Steve,
his Keanu face. He don't give a fuck.
absolutely he is. He's just here having a good time, right?
Yep.
He's here for a big payday. And he's doing Jack Black things. He has like no less than 3 songs in the movie. And he's just doing his Jack Black things, right? And he's like a doorknob salesman who gets stuck in like a mine shaft that leads to the Minecraft world, right?
As you do.
And yeah, and he just really likes it there, and he gets captured by like a pig lady, and the pig lady, because he has this
sentence that you're saying. Yeah.
the pig lady has like this MacGuffin that is like the key to going between the real world and the overworld of Minecraft. And he hid it from the pig lady, so the pig lady's like, I'm gonna keep you here and I'm gonna send out my pigs to go find it or whatever, right? And meanwhile, Jason Momoa plays a video game store owner who had his heyday in the 80s being like a video game champion. Like, what's that dude from that Donkey Kong documentary?
Oh, what's the weird evil one?
Yeah, like that guy, but Jason Momoa, right?
It's like Billy something.
Yeah, Billy, right? Like he plays this guy named Garrett, who was he had his heyday in the 80s. He was a video game champion. Now he's down on his luck, and he finds the key, and these couple other kids are there, and they all go into the overworld together. They find Steve, and I don't know,
Mitchell.
man.
Billy
Mitchell, yeah. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man, but these kids were into it, right? And I got to tell you something, yo. It was kind of nice to see people really enjoying a movie in a movie theater.
All right,
for
that's
me.
fair. That's fair. I mean, that is kind of nice. Like,
it is, right? Like, but I got to tell you, one, my son, he said he liked it. Right, he's 6. He's never played Minecraft, but he knows of it through people at school. He said he liked it. He said, there were some parts to it that he thought were a little scary. He don't like spooky shit either. And he was like, but he very calmly like, yeah, I don't really like that part. Yeah, I like the other part. And I was like, yeah, I feel you. But then when we got home, he was like, oh, you know what? It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that scary. Right. So I was like, okay, all right, you liked it. There's no way you're ever seeing that movie again with me, but that's fine. And I got to tell you something. There were 2 parts where these kids like really popped. Right. One was for a pig wearing a crown, and I was like these kids were like, yeah. I was like, what? So I went home, and apparently this is a nod.
You had to Google it, you fucking old man.
I had to Google it. Yeah. I was like, what is going on?
What the fuck?
So I had to Google it, and apparently it was a tribute to a very famous Minecraft streamer who recently had died of cancer. So
All right,
I think that was beautiful, right? I'm
yeah.
glad that they threw that in there. Oh, apparently there was an end credit scene. I don't know. I got the hell out of there. And look, there was one part. There was one part. I gotta set the scene for you, all right? Jack Black and Jason Momoa are captured, right? Jack Black is in the corner of a boxing ring, okay? And he is tied up like a corner man, but he's tied up, right? So he can't help Jason Momoa's character. Jason Momoa is in the ring. He is surrounded by characters in like a lumberjack style wrestling match, right? He is surrounded by people who want to do him harm, but Jack Black is trying to explain to him, nah, they want you to fight, right? They want you to fight. And if you win the fight, it'll get us out of here, right? So at the other end is Jason Momoa. He's, pretending to be a big tough guy, right? He's like, all right, whatever, right? Like, just tell me who to fight, right? And then he looks over and he's like, do they want me to fight that chicken? There's a chicken on the other side of the ring, okay? And all these kids, nigga, this was Mjolnir shaking, right?
Oh, okay.
This was Mjolnir shaking, right?
I
They saw that chicken.
I knew that chicken.
This is Mjolnir shaking. A box comes down, okay? A box comes down. Kids are doing this. They're getting their fucking phones out, bro. They're getting their phones out so they can record this, okay? And as soon as the box opens, a little baby zombie jumps on the chicken, and these kids are going out of their fucking mind. It's like Captain America grabbed that fucking hammer, and that pop that we gave, that's what these kids did, man.
Good for them.
And they were screaming at the top of their lungs, chicken jockey! And they were screaming chicken jockey, and this fucking chicken jockey was beating the dog shit out of Jason Momoa. And I mean, these kids just blew the fuck up. And
good for them, though. Good for them. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
You can't be mad at that, right? You can't be mad at that.
That's
right?
movie magic, yo. Like that's legitimately movie magic.
If that's what gets people into the theater, then fucking chicken jockey, bro. Like, but like it was out.
Just remembering how we all felt when we saw that Mjolnir pop with Captain America. It was euphoric, yo. It's euphoric.
Yeah,
and like you can't be mad at other people, whatever their particular IP is that gets them there. You can't be mad at that. That's dope.
I can't be mad at that, man. Cool, I really can't. And then I went because again,
I don't know what any of this fucking means, but like whatever.
Right. I looked it up when I got home. I was like, "What is a chicken jockey?" Right? And
I'm googling it right now because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Apparently, a chicken jockey is just that, right? One of the enemies spawns on a that is a baby, and it spawns on a chicken, but though at the rarest of occasions, it's got like a 5% chance to spawn, period. But this particular combination of enemy and chicken only spawns like 0.25% of the time in the game. So it's just like a rare spawn, right? So if you see a chicken jockey in the game, you're like, oh shit, it's a fucking chicken jockey. And they put that shit in the movie form. And these kids flipped out. And you know what? This is why you go to movies, right? Like, you go to movies for these type of communal experiences. I just wish I was into it. But
like, but that's cool. Like I'm seeing the images from the movie. It's all very weird to me, but yeah, like that's cool. That's cool. Like you just can't be mad at people enjoying that pop, especially kids, because that's what ingratiates them to the movie experience. So no, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. Good for them. I'm never going to see this movie.
Cool, man. No, please don't. For your sanity. Like you're going to be like, what am I doing here? What is going on? But
trust me.
But yeah, I just the Superman trailer came on. I was egging my son on like, Superman, you want to go see that? He was like, no.
Fine.
Fine. more of this fucking chicken jockey bullshit.
Yep.
But
That's
but
dope.
yeah, man, like
Good for them.
yeah, I had a good time, and I had a good time because I was with my boy, and I like movies, and I like him sometimes. I love him. I love him always. I love him always. But I only like him sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I get that. I'll rip the world down for you, sweetheart, but you're getting on my goddamn nerves right now. Like, go
right.
That just is what it is. That's really funny, but that's good for them. I'm happy for those kids, man. That's a magical moment in movies. It really is. I mean, that's like I wasn't obviously old enough to like, you know, I mean, I was alive, but I wasn't old enough. Not until I was years later seeing it. But I wasn't old enough in theaters. Like that's the like Luke, I am your father moment, right? You're just like, oh, like it just blows your fucking mind. Like there are just moments like that where you're like, holy shit. And that's not even the same because that's not referencing something like the IP of knowing this thing and having this sort of internal knowledge and then going to the theater to see an adaptation of that and then seeing it come alive in live action like that is a whole different sort of thing. And that's like kind of our generation forward, which is super fucking interesting. All right, let's take a quick break from Checked Out, and we're gonna get into our single topic this week, and see what you guys think. This is a doozy. It's just really a headline: 100 dudes versus a gorilla. Apparently, people online are fucking idiots, and they think that 100 random people, 100 random dudes, could beat one silverback gorilla.
Okay, let's think about this.
So. I don't think so. Because I don't think 100 dudes can't do a lot of things like normal shit. Like 100 random dudes.
I think that's where the nuance of this ridiculous conversation lies, right? Like one, you know, the age of the gorilla. Is this like let's say the gorilla is in its prime and we get 100 able-bodied men to take this thing on, right? And are we saying that they're random, right? Like it could be like literally anybody. It could be special forces and like a school teacher
and me, right? Like
right, like it could be right. It could be anybody. I think they would fail for the same reason that those gorillas in Andor failed, because men usually can't get on the same page.
Yeah.
Right. Like what the discussion, you know, there's going to be quite a few of them who will see themselves as the alpha male, right?
Yeah, y'all gonna be the alpha male. You'll be the first ones dead.
Right. And then it's like, okay, well, you know, who's going to step up and be the first one to start attacking, right? Like, because you can't bum rush a gorilla with 100 people, right? Like, it's just too many humans there, right?
Yeah.
Somebody
and be in the second wave.
Right. But do you attack in waves?
I feel like you got to go, like, if you're going to do it, by the way, for people who are not familiar with this unbelievably moronic conversation, this was started online, and they were like, look, somebody said, I think 100 dudes, if they're dedicated, could take down a silverback gorilla. 100 random guys. But also, no weapons, right? There are no fucking sharp sticks, no guns, anything like that, right? If you had weapons, obviously it's super easy. Bazooka, done, I won. From a fucking distance. But yeah, you'd have to attack, right? Because there's, like you said, there's too many people, so you can't all like make one circle and like be able to get to the gorilla at the same time. That doesn't make sense. So what you can maybe get like maybe 5 to 10, maybe 5 to 8 people attacking said gorilla at a time. But I feel like a gorilla could just use one of its massive forearms to knock 4 or 5 of you the fuck out of here and then grab one of you and squish your head as if you were the police chief in a Daredevil series. And then I feel like the other 90 people would be like, I'm out because I'm really not trying to get murdered by a gorilla. I feel like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like some of y'all gonna die, right?
A lot of
Y'all, right? And most people don't want to die. So that's where the like people are so focused on the number, right? But there's so much more to it. There's more psychology at play.
Yeah,
right?
there's the humanity of all of this. Most people are scared.
Like most people are scared, right? Like it's that scene in Fight Club where they were given instructions by Tyler Durden to go out and pick a fight, right? Start a fight.
Yeah.
And then the narrator says, most people don't want to fight.
They don't.
Right? Like it was very difficult to start that fight. Most people don't want to fight, right? Now, let's assume that like you get 100 men who are dedicated to beating the shit out of this gorilla, right?
Right.
They want to fight the gorilla. Again, who's going to be first? Right? Like
yeah, because somebody's got to take the gorilla on head first. Like even if you circle the gorilla, somebody's got to be going straight in. Who is that dude?
Right. Who is that, right? Who is the sacrificial lamb, right?
The true elf.
Nobody wants to be that. And I want to believe the guys could do it, but I just don't think that they would be able to strategize, right? I don't think that because people, individuals,
so you're not giving them the Batman prep time shit. Like this is grab 100 people.
No, this is no fuck all. What prep time? Like no, like this is it. You spawn in this, and round one fight.
Round one, grand opening, grand closing. That's what this is gonna fucking be.
Right, and it just doesn't stop until somebody is dead, until all 100 are gone, or the gorilla.
Yeah.
And I feel like now, look, the gorilla can probably get tired. Like you got to outlast.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Like a guy who studies gorillas. He was like, well, they actually get tired relatively quickly. So he was like, I think 30 or 40 guys could actually take him down. But I'm like, that requires 30. Like, have you seen people punch? People don't really know how to punch either, right? Like, yeah, you can punch a gorilla and it would hurt. But like, what kind of force do you need to be able to lay on a gorilla? Like, even if there's like somebody just like constantly punching while other people are, I don't know, distracting the gorilla or some shit like that. Have you ever seen them when they move wildly, like they spin around and shit? You're gonna get hit. Even if that doesn't exude a lot of energy for the gorilla, it's gonna hurt you a lot because they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like, how much does a gorilla weigh?
300 to 485 pounds is what a silverback gorilla weighs, with some larger ones reaching up to 500 pounds.
No, you got to fight
so
a 500.
You got to fight 500 pounds.
Yeah, you got to fight a 500 pound one. Now you don't get to fight the little.
Yeah, you don't get a run. Yeah,
you got to fight the real deal, right?
Yeah,
you're not taking down a 500 pound man. Shredded and fucking jacked as fuck. Have you seen their forearms? They're fucking gigantic. They're gigantic. And they just eat like fruits and vegetables and like tree branches, and they're fucking monsters. No, dude. It would be like trying to fight a person who is twice the size of Zangief from fucking Street Fighter. That's insane.
Plus, you don't really know how a gorilla is going to move. You know what I mean?
That's also true. That's also
like, a gorilla could swing wildly, right? Like, it's not like a gorilla has a stance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you could kind of predict, right? Like, things either coming at you, it's swinging its arms around. It can hit you with its feet, right? Like, it could do some wild shit.
Like, they do that fucking like the second they do that, whatever the gorilla version of Haka is, you're in a world of trouble. If I'm even remotely close to a gorilla and they do that, I'm out. I'm like, I don't know what that means. If they're happy or they're sad, it looks like it's gonna fuck me up. I gotta get the fuck out of here. You start pounding your chest, absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. All right, let's see. A couple of facts. Let's see if we can find here. Gorillas can move up to 25 miles an hour. I think a human is like 12 miles an hour, so they can damn near run twice as fast as you, if not slightly faster than you. Gorilla strength. Silverback gorillas are exceptionally strong, exceeding the strength of humans significantly. They can lift or throw up to 1,800 pounds.
Yo, okay, bro.
Nigga, they are grabbing you at 200 pounds. They're grabbing you by your chest and throwing you up against the wall. Yo. It's a wrap for you. 1,800 pounds, which is roughly twice the lifting capacity of a well-trained human. Okay, excuse me, roughly twice? There are no humans lifting or throwing 900 pounds. That's not true. By the way, the people who can deadlift that much is the guy half Bjork Thornson from the mountain from Game of Thrones and Eddie Hall. Those guys are not regular dudes. They're not in this.
Now look, you'll have a couple of those dudes peppered in, but like we're not pitting this gorilla against, 100 elite athletes, right? Like these are randos, right? Like this is like in Battle Royale where you just get a random weapon. Sometimes you get a knife, sometimes you get a paper fan, right? Like it just depends on the luck of the draw, right? On who gets chosen. And I got to tell you, man, I don't know if humanity has it.
No, I'm betting on the gorilla. Here's another little fact. Grip strength. Silverbacks possess a powerful grip strong enough to crush a crocodile. Who are you fighting? Like, by the way, why is that even a factor? Like who studied that? Like, just crush a crocodile, I guess. Like, who studied that? Like, what the fuck? Muscle mass. They have a higher ratio of muscle mass compared to humans, contributing to their incredible strength. No shit. Look at them.
Right.
This is fucking insane. Yeah, like that's absolutely nuts. But I love the internet debate. This is quite humorous to me. Like, now, what is the makeup? And then we'll move off this very thought-provoking topic. What is the makeup of 100 men or women? I don't care. But men are the only ones dumb enough to even try something like this. What is the makeup of that group of people that could take down a silverback gorilla? I think if you had like the top UFC fighters of all time, right? Like wherever era, if you got 100 of those dudes, I feel like maybe you'd have a chance.
I mean,
you need people who can fucking hit hard, man.
Yeah,
you need Mike Tyson hitting a gorilla's kidneys to kind of take him down a little bit.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like if you have like hundreds of elite trained athletes, and I mean not just like athlete like, oh, I play basketball, right? Like, nah, like people whose job it is to hurt people, right?
Right.
And like they get paid to knock people out. Then humanity got it, right? Like no question, right? But these are randos, right? We can't stack. We already stacking the odds against the gorilla, right? It's like, do you think you could beat up 100, 10-year-olds?
No,
as a 45-year-old man.
No,
right?
I couldn't. They would bum rush me, and I could fuck up a bunch of them though. Like I could, I'd probably knock a couple of them out. I would feed a lot of them their own teeth. I feel like that would be a fucking thing. And then one of them that I knocked out, I would grab them by the legs and use them as sort of a fucking whipping tool to fucking knock out other ones. But at a certain point, I'm just gonna get tired, and then they're just gonna fucking bum rush me, and I'm in a world of trouble.
Right, because that's why it's such a good test, right? Because kids are smaller and weaker, right? But they got all the energy in the world, right?
Yeah, that's a lot. And let's not say 10-year-olds, because like that feels like, because some 10-year-olds are like,
No, a 10-year-old will fuck you up, yo.
yeah, 10-year-olds will fuck you up. Like, 100 10-year-olds, that's a lot of kids. But like if you said 100 5-year-olds, right? Or like around 5, like that's a deal. Like my kid is 5, right? She's almost 6. Like she's 4 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
So like that age, nah, fuck, I'd whoop the shit out of like 25 or 30 kids are getting fucked up, like severely fucked up. Because I'm gonna be brutal to those first calls. I'm uppercutting those first like 5, like just to show dominance. Like I'm not fucking around. I ain't your dad. The fuck out of here, right? I feel like I'm pretty gassed at like 20. By 30, I'm like Joel. I'm like, shut the fuck up, get it done. Like, you know, like what the fuck can I do? Like I'm done. And then it's just a wave of like from like 30 out to 100. But yeah, like 30, maybe 40 max. And that's, dude, 40 is that's a heavy call. Like I'm being real arrogant and giving myself a lot of leeway. I think
40 is a lot, yo.
That's a lot of kids, yo. That's a lot of kids.
40 is 2 classrooms in an inner city, nigga. Like that's a lot.
Wait, are these 2 inner city kids?
2 inner city
I got
classrooms.
5. Look, inner city kids, 5. Some soft little private school kids, I might be able to go 50. Like let's fucking go.
But here's the thing, right? Like
how many 5-year-olds? This is so insane. It's such an insane
how many 5-year-old? It depends, right? Like if it's
4 feet tall. Your son is 6, but let's say he's around that same age.
He's around that same age. The problem is my son is very tall for his age, but I guess that's that's just the luck of the draw, right? Like if he is slightly above average, how many do I think I could get? I was running around with some of his friends the other day. All the parents, both the kids together, and they, I'm the one that runs around with them because I like kids and I'm stupid, and the other parents are like, "Go ahead, have at it."
This is always me. This is my story as well.
Yeah. I get tired really fast, guys. I get tired.
You get gassed, yo. You get gassed.
Yeah, because like the kids don't stop, right? Like, and it's not like you're pacing yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're not like long distance running. You're running away from kids. I don't know, man. I just going by the 1, 2, 3, 4, going by the 6 kids that were there the other day. I might be able to do like 15 before I'm like, all right, fuck this, I'm leaving.
No, yo. Like, I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt because look, you this is again.
Well, you
gotta use some of the kids to beat the other kids with, like that's.
And you got to think of the psychological damage that you're gonna do to some of the kids when you punch one, right, and they realize like.
Tooth fairy's here, motherfucker.
Right.
What's happening?
So I might be able to take out. I'm gonna say 30 is probably the max.
Yeah, yo. I know there's gonna be a bunch of tough guys in the comments. Nah, I could. No, you couldn't, yo. If you over 40. Nah, yo. Look, you at 20, you might be able to get up to 60, 70. I'll give you that. You got good cardio and shit like that. You can land a punch, no problem. At 45, fuck no. Kid 30 is kicking my fucking back in, yo. Like, get the fuck out of here, yo. Just jumping and dropping a fucking elbow on my head. It's over for me. Like, get out of here. No way.
All right, last one, right? Because in honor of our buddy. In honor of our buddy Demetrius, he has said before this, like the 100 men versus a gorilla thing came out, he said that he thinks in his heart of hearts, and I think he's dead serious, he thinks he could beat up a kangaroo.
You are insane. Demetrius, you are insane.
Yo, I don't think so. Bro.
Yo, kangaroos are fucking dangerous, dude. One, they have like razor claws, dude. They'll rip your fucking face off.
I really do appreciate, and part of me envies the amount of confidence that man has.
Yo, Demetrius has the confidence of a mediocre white man. Shout out to you. Get out of here, yo. There is no way. There is no way. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask a couple of probing questions. One, does the kangaroo have a Joey in its pouch at the time? Right?
No, because that's a female kangaroo, right? Because they're
dangerous.
Kangaroo.
Nigga, they're dangerous. Everybody knows wildlife. The female wildlife are the worst.
Look, I get it. I get it. We're trying to. There's interspecies assault is fine. Not interspecies intergender assault. Like
is this a bridge too far for you? Okay,
that's a bridge too far for me. You want to box up a kangaroo, fine, but like be a man about it. Fight.
Nah, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Of my me versus 100 kids, look, I'm totally fine. Bring it on. Like, my little daughter, I'm gonna send her in. She gonna get knocked out too. Get out of here.
Also, the kangaroo can't be some soft girl pillow princess, in captivity kangaroo. No, you gotta go to Australia. You gotta go to Australia and fight a kangaroo.
No, this is a kangaroo fresh out of the outback. Like, you go into the outback and you're like, there they are, like fucking ding ding, let's fucking go, right? One, they have like razor claws. They're fucking super strong. Nigga, they use their tail and then jump up and kick you with their feet, which is insane. Don't do that. Like, that's crazy. Two, you can't, and I don't want to hear no bullshit. Like, this ain't no video game. They don't have boxing gloves on, yo. Nah, yo. You going toe to toe. Yeah, this ain't Tekken. Like, you go toe to toe with a real ass kangaroo. Yo, that's one of the most insane things you've ever said to me, Chris. You are wilding, yo. You cannot beat a kangaroo. Absolutely not. Those videos of humans fighting kangaroos, though, is fucking awesome. They are legitimately great. Yo, I cannot believe you said that with any level of seriousness. Oh man, that needs to be the next internet craze. Could you beat a kangaroo by yourself? The answer might surprise you. No, no. Like, hold on. All right, let's hit him with some kangaroo facts. Kangaroo facts. Kangaroo strength versus humans. Let's see. Kangaroos possess remarkable strength, particularly in their leg and tails. They have a powerful bite force. Really? You ready for this? A swift paw swipe and a strong tail support. Kangaroo has the same bite force as a grizzly bear, which is 975 psi, which is 6 times the human bite force, and a paw swiping force of 8,800 pounds. Feet per square inch, 8 times that of a human creates. All right, so you think you could take on an animal that can bite you like a grizzly bear can? All right, bro, like it's all you, man. No, absolutely not. Leg strength.
I'm watching a video of a kangaroo versus a boxer, and all right, I'm gonna send it to you. The kangaroo is locking up like a wrestler, right? Just doing a overhead lockup, but then uses its tail to balance itself, and then bam, kicks your legs out from under you.
You're not winning that fight. That's fucking insane. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Shout out to him for even saying this, because this is fucking funny. Like, you would get summarily fucked up in that fight.
Again, I envy that confidence, man. Like, that stuff will get you far, man. I wish I had it, but
that's fucking hilarious.
Nah, yo.
This nigga said I can fight a kangaroo and win. Oh, yo, shout out to you. Yo. That's funny. All right, so let's not even take a break. Let's go right into trailers, and then we're going to get out of here. Trailer for Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It took them 3 movies to do the title properly. So they have real magical powers, right? Because they did in
That's
the
my thing, yo. Like,
I don't understand this.
I guess they always did have real magical powers.
No, they were given real magical powers at the end of the first movie that I saw in theaters for some fuck all reason.
All right. I just I'm not this franchise is
how much money has
3
this
movies deep? That is a very good question because
Uh,
people are going to see these, right? Like now
I
you.
okay. So I was wondering this because I thought about this when you sent me the trailer. I believe I responded to you by saying "fuck off." Was my response to this? Um, and I wanted to know what the franchise made, but I didn't look it up because I wanted to look freshly on the show. And I'm looking right now. It has made a total of $686 million worldwide. First one made 351 million, and the second one made 334 million. And they have like I think relatively low budgets. I don't think they're particularly high budget films. They certainly
What, are
don't.
using real magic? Like what?
Yeah, the first one had a $75 million budget, and the second one had a 90 to $120 million budget. And I have to imagine the third one will be somewhere in the realm of 90 to $120 million. So yeah, I guess these are pretty good. These are directed by Jonathan Chu or John Chu, who did Crazy Rich Asians. Um,
Really?
yeah, it's
He
weird.
did the second one. Louis
Yeah, he didn't do.
Leterrier did the first one,
Yeah, he didn't do the first one, right?
and
Um,
Ruben Fleischer is doing the third one.
oh, John Chu was originally supposed to come back and direct the third one, so I guess it changed. Okay. Um, okay. I don't know what Ruben
Yeah,
Fleischer has done. Oh, okay. He directed Zombieland, which is pretty good. I like Zombieland.
so the thing about this series for me is
Oh, which is
one, I was a little confused at the end of the first one. But if you're telling me they have actual magical powers now, okay.
that was the
Because
implication.
the idea of stage magic being done on a movie doesn't work with me, right? It doesn't, like, there's no there, right? Like, it's one thing if you're like Doctor Strange doing like fantastical stuff,
Right.
but
Sleight of
you
hand.
know, right, exactly. Like, that doesn't, it'd be like Penn and Teller in a movie, right? Like doing their stage act in a movie. It just doesn't. I don't know. I can't, for some reason I can't disconnect the fact that, like, hey guys, this is a movie. Like, I can't buy into it. I can't buy into it. And but hey man, look, if you're a what do you think they call the Now You See Me fans?
Idiots. I don't know. That's not fair. Horsemen, right? Because they're called the Four Horsemen or whatever.
But like, there are way more than four of them, right?
No. I think there's only four of them
But aren't
in
there
this
like
new.
eight of them in this
No,
movie?
no. In this new movie, they're recruiting these other group of horse maniacs to join. But originally, it's Jesse Eisenberg, um, Woody Harrelson, Isla Fisher, and Dave Franco are the four. And then Mark Ruffalo in the first one, he has fucking superpowers, like in the end.
But wasn't he a cop chasing them?
Yeah, but that was like
I don't.
that was the big like
That was his cover.
that was the big cover is that he was naturally a magician or whatever. Like, and look, maybe I'm wrong, but like that's what I got from the end of it. And then when they were like, "We're doing the second one," I was like, "I'm not going to see that." And then people were like, "Oh, they're still doing sleight of hand magic." I was like, "But they have real magic." Like that's I saw the first movie. I'm pretty sure they have real magic. Um,
Also, like, if they have real magic, like they're doing heists, right? Like, that's the big thing, right? They're doing like
yeah,
they're stealing stuff. I mean, it's not really like, it's not really Ocean's 11, with the whole planning. If you can just kind of do magic,
right.
right? Like,
That's why Doctor Strange doesn't do petty theft.
where's your little Asian guy hiding in a box and then having him transport, and then like, and Don Cheadle doing a bad British accent, and where's the espionage? Just no, it's just like, no, let's just do some magic, yo.
All right, look. I take the same stance that I took for the last movie. I'm not going to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
I
think I
have
can
no
watch
desire to watch the rest of this entire franchise. Like, no, this should be the end of it. Like, this is enough.
Well, good things come in threes.
Like celebrity deaths. So, like, all right, sure. Next up, Weapons. This is a new movie directed by the people behind Barbarian. Oof. Look, I love Barbarian. I love Companion. Did I tell you? Yeah, I told you over text. My wife and I watched Companion the other day. She loved it. I don't know
would
who this
imagine she
woman
would.
is. I don't
I
know
would
who this
imagine she
woman is.
would, just
Yeah, but
because of the theme,
she's
just
not like
because of the
into
themes.
the violence. Well, the themes, yes, but the violence, I'm just surprised. But we've been watching The Last of Us and shit like that, so she's been into it.
Yeah, maybe you're desensitizing her in
Good.
this new climate that we're in.
Yeah, look, that's a good thing because there's a lot of. I was like, there's all these other shows I want you to watch, but you've been like, I think The Last of Us kind of broke her because she's like, oh, it's a zombie show, but I really like this. I'm like, yeah, there are good shows that are in these genres that maybe you hadn't considered before. Which is why I'm more keen to watching horror stuff now, like if it's quality shit.
Yeah.
Not that I thought Companion was particularly horror, but I mean, I guess it's in that world. This, on the other hand, looks like straight up horror. Weapon.
This looks like spooky horror, man. And,
yeah. How
I'm not
freaked out
going
are
to
you
the
about?
theater. I'm not going to the theater to see spooky horror. In like 2 weeks, I'm going to see Final Destination. That's the stuff that's my shit. I'd watch this at home with the lights on.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. So
it deals with kids, man, like
disappearing
missing children. No, that's just playing. That's just playing on a different type of fear, right? Like,
right.
New fear unlocked.
Right.
Right.
My kid wakes up at 2:17 in the morning and just leaves town. What the fuck?
Right. Right.
Lock the doors. So the premise here is when all but one student from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind the disappearances. Yeah, it's a good trailer. Look, I don't know what the twist is, but considering this is done by the person who did Barbarian, I'm all in. For me, they're 2 for 2. I really like Barbarian and I really like Companion. So, I like it would feel weird for me to just have no desire to see this just because I just think that they've done such a great job with those other 2 movies. So.
It is intriguing. And I am curious, but
yeah, Zach Krieger.
Nah. Yeah, I don't think he direct Companion. I thought all 3 of these movies have the same producer, but Companion and Weapons have the same director. But I might be wrong.
Yeah, let me take a look. I thought he directed both, but let's see. No, he's just a producer. He was a producer on that one. Okay. Yeah, he did Miss March, Barbarian, and he is doing Weapons. So okay. So all right. He also wrote a movie called Mars, which I have not seen, but yeah, that guy's really good. I mean, I really liked Barbarian a lot. Like that was really, really fun. So, I mean, it was fucked up. It was definitely very, very fucked up. So that's cool. All right, I will check it out. But it's got a creep vibe to it. He was also a founding member of the comedy troupe, The Whitest Kid You Know. Really?
Really? Huh.
Wow, that's crazy. All right.
It's not crazy that a comedian knows how to scare people.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
That is on brand with what comedians know how to tap into emotions that like dramatic people tend to. Dramatic people are difficult at being funny. Funny people are not difficult at being dramatic.
I mean, you're not wrong. Speaking of that, what's Jordan Peele up to? Oh man, what's your next shit?
Isn't he producing that new movie Him?
Yes, that is what he's up to. Yep. So he's not. Doesn't seem like he's got anything in the works, straight up directing as of right now. So that's fine.
Which Him looks really good too.
Yeah, that looks superbly fucked up. But I like that he's doing some interesting shit because I really liked Monkey Man. That was awesome. That was really fun. So, all right. Next up, last but not least, actually, Smashing Machine or The Smashing Machine, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Mark Kerr. This is an A24 film. This is written and directed by Benny Safdie. This is just the story of Mark Kerr, who is an early UFC guy. Look, I am easily on record as being the biggest hater of The Rock. I don't actually hate him, but just giving the guy shit all the time. This looks excellent. It does. And it doesn't look good just from the directing standpoint. And then I'm like, yeah, well, we'll see what The Rock does. No, I actually think this looks like a great performance by him. This is what I want from him. Stop doing just a bunch of bullshit. Like, you can still do bullshit, but you're capable of more. You are. Yeah. You're capable of more. And I hope that's what he gets out of this. I really do. But I mean, that makeup, by the way, I thought like those first images, I was like, that's just The Rock in a terrible wig. This actually, like, he really doesn't. I'm not going to say he doesn't look like The Rock because that would be ridiculous, but he does look quite different. Like, that facial makeup they're using is actually very good.
Yeah, like you said, this is what The Rock. This is playing to his strengths.
Yeah.
And that's what The Rock needs to do if he wants to be serious about this art. If he's just about making money, which I think that's what The Rock is. I think he's just about making money. But if hopefully he gets a taste of, he's going to be critically lauded for this. I'm calling it right now. Don't be surprised if he gets nominated for many, many awards. All right, because that's what this movie's got it written all over it. Right?
Oh yeah.
Don't be surprised. Mm-hmm. And if that is the case, hopefully he kind of gets bitten by the awards bug, and he starts taking roles that are a little more serious, a little more designed with him in mind. Mm-hmm. Now, that one of the reasons why John Cena and Batista have lost a lot of weight is like, you can't, it's not a lot of everyman roles for people who don't look like everymen. Right?
Yeah. You don't look like you're getting chosen in the gorilla fight. Like, get out of here. You look like the gorilla, man. Like, you're too big.
Right. But I think this is really playing to his strength. This looks really good. Look, we comment on The Rock a lot, maybe too much, but like, I'm not gonna hate and I don't think you are either. I'm not gonna hate and say this looks bad. No, this looks really good, man.
It looks excellent. Yeah, it really does.
This looks really good, and hope.
By the way, he's nailing Mark Kerr's his voice, his voice and shit. Yeah,
and his cadence. Yeah, man. He really is. He really is putting in the work. And that's all I want to see from The Rock. I want to like The Rock, yo. I really do. Yeah. And stuff like this, I think is really, really good for him. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. And don't worry, we'll be talking shit on The Rock once he starts dipping his hand in creative when it comes to wrestling again. And then I'll be mad at him all over. But nah, yo. Do more stuff like this, yeah. And less, Jungle Cruise or whatever the hell.
Yeah, you like
that movie was.
The thing that, yeah, one, shout out to a couple of real UFC folks who are in this. Shout out to Baz Rutten, who's in it, who I love. Like, Baz Rutten is a fucking psychopath, but he was an amazing fighter. Look, the thing about this movie is, one, you're doing what you should have always done, is you team up with a great fucking director. Safdie is a great director, man. Like, he really, really is. The Safdie brothers, period, are. But Ben Safdie is especially, has proven time and time again, right? He did, was it Hidden Gems with Adam Sandler, which was fucking excellent. Where people were like, I don't know about Adam Sandler and these type of movies. This is really good. Yeah, because you got a director who can pull those performances out. The Rock gets to be physical, which he likes to do in roles and stuff like that, which is totally fine. But he also gets to play this character who is complex. This is a real person. You really get to show like your humanity and shit like that. Yeah, man. Look, I'm gonna go out on a total limb here. This is gonna be his wrestler. Like when Mickey Rourke did The Wrestler, this is gonna be his version of it, and that's fine. Yeah. That's great. I want him to try to do other shit. What I get tired of is just the stale fucking quick money grab movies. Because when he came out of the UFC, when he came out of wrestling and like not fully left it, but was like really making a hard pivot, like I'm gonna do movies now and shit like that. He had in the rundown, he had that scene in the very beginning, and it was the most obvious torch passing scene where he walks by Schwarzenegger and it's like, oh, what's going on? It was like, that was the big moment. And it was like, if you want to be Schwarzenegger of this era, and you had every right to be, like you had it all lined up, man. You had it all lined up. You came from humble beginnings, became a massive superstar. You were primed for that shit. And then you did a number of roles. The rundown was great. It was a lot of fun. Then you did like Walking Tall and a bunch of other nonsense. But you like before that, you did Be Cool and stuff like that. You did like kind of fun out of the pocket roles where you're playing like a gay hitman or whatever, right? Like you weren't playing to type. You were trying different things and you were good at it. And then you got into this like, I got to be the toughest fucking bro fucking guy. And then you just stayed there and you didn't change. This is what we wanted from you, dude. Like the fact that Dave Bautista gets chosen to do Dune and fucking Blade Runner and M. Night Shyamalan movies, and he's all over the place. You're like, the fuck is Dave Bautista in this movie for? And he's not, and look, Dave Bautista ain't the best actor, but he's putting in shit, he's putting in work to try to become a great actor. Yeah. And when he tries, he actually does a pretty good job. And again, Guardians of the Galaxy played to his strengths, right? He wasn't that great at reading the script, so they changed his personality of the character to be this like just super, like literal guy. And it worked. Right. It worked because he had a director who saw what his strengths were and his personality, and they made it work. That's the difference between picking a bunch of journeyman director like the guy who does the Jungle Cruise and all those other movies that you did versus someone like Safdie who can pull a performance out of you. The work is there, dude. Like your abilities are there. You went and acted multiple times a night for decades, right? Like
live theater.
Live theater, dude. So good to the point where you were just a famous, like a decently famous wrestler's son, all the way to them naming a show after your catchphrase. That's how popular you became in that universe. You can do this. Like, you can put on these performances. And I'm not saying every movie's got to be like this. Like, look, I like the fucking Dead Leg Die Hard movie. Like, I love that shit. Good, give me that too. I like that. Ridiculous. But it's like the Star Wars conversation earlier. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? It don't even have to be 50-50, by the way. Give me like 70-30. Right. Give me like 70-30. But if you slim down a little bit, you open yourself up to doing a lot. The 30% can be a lot more different. I know he don't want to, but like
he ain't slimming down.
He slimming down for nobody. I'm getting bigger. Like, all right, nigga, you over 50. Like, all right, I wouldn't.
How old do you think he is? Off the top of your head, how old do you think he is?
Is he like 53, 54, something like that?
He's 52.
Yeah, I knew he was
looks
over
older
50.
than 52. He looks older than 52 to me.
Yeah, that's what abusing steroids will do. Like, it makes you look older. But I mean, obviously he's natty, right? Yeah, okay. So like, look, I'm fine with like 70-30, even 80-20. But every couple of years, every 2-3 years, give me something with some quality behind it, man. Do something fun. Do something fun that people go, oh shit, The Rock's in this? Okay, that's cool. Like,
oh shit, The Rock can act.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Because I think people forgot about that.
Right. This looks like, oh shit, The Rock can act. Yes, he can. And that's the frustrating part. You can. You can. We know you can.
Yeah. People forgot about that because he played the same damn character in Rampage and Skyscraper and Jumanji and Shazam and Fast and Furious and Jungle Cruise. Like they're all just there's a meme of 4 stills from 4 different movies in The Rock, and they all look the same.
Oh, right? Where he's in the jungle sweating.
He's in a jungle somewhere. And you know, I want that dude to I want to like that dude. And you know, sometimes he makes it really hard for me to want to like him, but doing more stuff like this, yeah, man. And you know, like you said, do quality popcorn movies. That's fine. I don't really give a shit.
I mean, Arnold did a ton of fucking popcorn movies that, because he was with Cameron, like it worked.
Yeah,
right? It worked. And look, I know there's gonna be people who are like, I don't know, like he doesn't, you know, the facial makeup doesn't really look that good or whatever. In the trailer, go to like 1 minute and 8 seconds where he's doing like upright rows with an easy curl bar. Like, nigga, that doesn't look like The Rock at all. It doesn't look like him at all. Like that facial makeup or whatever that they use. I mean, he literally just doesn't look like him. He doesn't look like himself. Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty impressive. That was one of the biggest shocks to me in the trailer. I was like, damn, actually, that's because I thought they were just going to give him the wig and then just be like, yeah, you just look like The Rock. Like, this is what it is.
You know, the vintage look, the vintage lens, you know, that they're using. Mm-hmm. Really, I mean, it's like a Safdie like thing.
Yeah.
It looks really good, and it's helping a lot, actually.
Yes, a little bit grainy. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, a little bit grainy, a little, you know, it feels like it's in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like it really is working. So yeah, man. Look, good. Look, we shit on this dude a lot, but like, good on you, man. Like,
I'm there.
This shit looks good.
Yeah, I will see this in theaters. I'm a big Ben Safdie fan anyway, but I want to see this because I want to see what his performance is. Yo, if he gets nominated for an Oscar, like, look, I gotta tell you right now, if he gets nominated for an Oscar, I'm gonna be proud of him. Legitimately, dude, legitimately, I will be proud of him because like we knew you had this ability, yo. That's the frustration. It's not that like I don't like you just because I don't like you. It's because I know that you are better than this. And stop picking a bunch of bullshit. Right. Like it's like the moments you see in a shitty Tyler Perry movie where you're like, but that moment, like you could direct. Like, how did you do this? And then all the rest of this is crap because you're not putting in the effort that you could. And that's what makes me so angry at you. It's like you're not even trying. And I know that you could do better. So stop. And look, and if this movie sucks, I'll give you a hard fucking time. It does not. That would be wild. Like, and now I'm going to go the other way. But no, I think this looks legitimately very, very good. It really does. Any other thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I think we had a very good show for like not a bunch of stuff to talk about.
There you go. We're professional.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And shout out to Demetrius. Nigga, you cannot fight a kangaroo. Don't do that. You fucking psychopath. All right. That is it for us. We will see you guys next week.
See you.